My ex-wife left me for my best friend, and he grabbed me by the neck when I confronted her. So I did this. I'm a 47-year-old man, and my ex-wife is 48. She left me a year and a half ago for a man who was married to her high school best friend. Some friend she turned out to be, right? We had been married for 20 years, and I thought we had 2 children together. Recently, I found out that my 6-year-old daughter isn't mine, she's his. She knew this from the very first day she was pregnant and kept it from me. My name is on the birth certificate, and I fully intend to fight for custody. She may not be my blood, but she's my daughter. Finding this out was like a punch in the gut. When I asked her if it was me or him, she said it was him. Why? Because he can get it up again after sex and keep going. That was her reason. Forget the fact that I worked 2 jobs to put her through school and kept working so she could stay home and raise our kids, and cheat on me. I gave up my own dreams and my music career for her so she could pursue hers and have a family. My ex has always been a cold woman. She's bipolar, and life with her wasn't easy. Her outbursts and her physical and emotional abuse were crushing, but I endured it because I thought she couldn't help it. Turns out that wasn't entirely true. She admitted to her friends that she often hit me simply because she felt like it or didn't get her way. My kids saw her hit and verbally abuse me many times. And every time I just stood there and took it, hating that my kids had to witness it. Once, near the end, she got angry because I didn't take the trash out the second I got home. She grabbed me by the neck and started squeezing while our son stood there horrified. I told her, "Our son will always remember this." That's when she let go. I should have left long ago. I know that now. I'd like to think I would have, if not for the kids. I didn't want them to have a broken home, so I clung to the hope that someday my wife would go back to being the woman I fell in love with. I know now those days were long dead. After everything came out, my wife sat down with her friend, the wife of the man she cheated with, and told her flat out, "Yes, it's true. No, I'm not sorry." Then she stood up and walked away. Her friend told me this. My ex packed up, took the kids, and moved in with him in an apartment right behind the one we had shared. And still, I held on to the hope that she'd realize the grass wasn't greener with him. He had cheated on his own wife several times, besides with mine, and she knew it. I waited that entire first year for her to come back. She kept the apartment keys, and I thought maybe it was because she knew deep down she'd return one day. But at the end of that year, the cruelty started again. He began showing up at the bus stop when I dropped the kids off saying, "I've come to see my daughter off to school." "Not your daughter, mine." I told him, "Then where were you for the past 5 years while I raised her? Where were you when she was given my last name? When I was there at her birth? Why is my name on the certificate instead of yours?" That almost earned me a punch in the face. Later that night, they both came to my door drunk, ready to fight. My ex then made everything public, going on Facebook and bragging about her new boyfriend. Our friends were shocked and reached out to me, and to his wife. I made sure to screenshot everything. She doesn't seem to care about the hole she's dug herself into with the divorce coming. But why would she? I already caught her with a paternity test. During this time, as I've mentioned, my ex still had the keys to our old apartment. She would occasionally let herself in to drop off stuff for the kids. The first time she came in while my new girlfriend was there did not go well. Later that night, she called me demanding to know who she was and why she was in our apartment. I enjoyed telling her that my girlfriend was none of her business. She had left me, moved in with another man, and had no right to ask questions anymore. Over the past months, my ex had become increasingly erratic about my new girlfriend. She even began stalking her. She sent her a Facebook friend request and demanded that she accept it. When my girlfriend refused, my ex called me screaming that I needed to make her accept because she had to see what kind of person my girlfriend was, the one I had around her kids. My girlfriend grabbed the phone from me and told her directly, "I don't need to add you. Anything about the kids can go through messages or phone calls. You don't and never will have access to my personal life, friends, or family." That didn't sit well with my ex. Soon after, my girlfriend showed me a sudden burst of friend requests she had received, all connected to my ex. Not long after that, my ex began letting herself into the apartment almost every weekend when I was at work, just to snoop around. One day I was on the phone with my girlfriend when she walked in. My girlfriend asked her what she wanted, and my ex claimed she was just checking how much milk I had in the fridge for when the kids came over. My girlfriend told her firmly that it was handled and showed her out. When I got home, I demanded she return the keys. Instead, she took my son's keys and made copies for herself. When my lease was up, my girlfriend asked me to move in with her so we could finally put distance between us and my ex. My ex did everything she could to prevent it. She even called the police, claiming I was leaving with her belongings. When asked what was hers, she couldn't name a single thing. Now I have the kids every other weekend. They told me that they weren't allowed to talk about what they did with me because she didn't want to hear it. That didn't last long. Now she pumps them for information. I'm sure it's just jealousy. We live on the beach. My girlfriend is well off, and when we have the kids, we take them to the boardwalk, the aquarium, or let them play on the beach. If they come home with prizes, my ex throws them away. Then I notice something strange. My ex started dressing and styling herself to look like my girlfriend. She dyed and cut her hair the same way. Whatever we did with the kids, she copied the next week. If we went to the zoo, she took them to the zoo. If she found out what we had for dinner, she cooked the same thing and demanded the kids tell her whose food was better. Last week, my son asked if he could live with us because, in his words, his mom was crazy. You'd better believe I'm going to use that in court. Just when I thought things couldn't get any crazier, one night my ex started sending me nudes. I was sitting next to my girlfriend when the pictures came in. I immediately explained that I hadn't asked for them, offered her my phone, and told her to see for herself. My girlfriend looked at the photos, cheap mirror selfies with her shirt pulled up, making duck faces, and then asked for my ex's number. She called her right then and said, "What the hell are you doing?" My ex tried to claim they were meant for someone else. My girlfriend laughed and said, "His name is at the beginning of the alphabet. Your boyfriend's is at the end." "Who are you kidding?" My ex hung up. I have no idea what game my ex is playing, but to me, it's nothing but insanity. On my daughter's 6th birthday, it wasn't supposed to be my weekend with the kids. To my surprise, my ex asked me if I wanted to have them that day. Of course, I said yes. She even let me keep them for 2 extra days. I thought it was odd. This was the first time he, the man she left me for, could have celebrated his daughter's birthday as her biological father, and instead of doing something special, she pawned her off on me and my girlfriend. Does anyone else think that's messed up? Not long after, I got an angry text from my ex saying she hoped I was fucking happy that I won. I knew I shouldn't respond, but I asked what her problem was. She answered with nonsense, then went off about how all men are pigs. From that, I gathered 2 things. 1, she was drunk, and 2, the idiot she left me for had cheated on her. I wasn't shocked. When she left, I told her, "You know what you're getting into?" And she answered, "I know what I'm doing." Clearly not. As her rage built, she turned her attacks on my girlfriend. She texted that my girlfriend was ugly and that I could have had any woman, but I chose someone ugly to replace her. My girlfriend is stunning inside and out. My ex's jealousy couldn't have been more obvious, especially since she'd already been stalking her and even copying her appearance. Then she claimed I didn't really love my girlfriend, that it was impossible to fall in love with the first woman I dated after losing her. But the truth is, we'd been apart for a year when I met my girlfriend. It took time to rebuild trust, and my girlfriend earned it. I didn't give it easily. My ex followed up by saying I only loved my girlfriend because I'd lost my apartment and was kissing her ass for a place to live. Not true. I had my own apartment across the street before moving in with her. Finally, she said, "Sorry I wasn't enough for you." I wanted to scream. It was me who wasn't enough for you. You left me. Or did you forget which one of us walked out the door? But I bit my tongue and told her to contact me when she was sober. Later, I showed the text to my girlfriend. She laughed and said, "Looks like he cheated on her." And now she has nowhere to go. She can't crawl back to you, and that's driving her crazy. It took me a long time to realize how much 20 years of abuse had shaped me. I'd gotten used to walking on eggshells. If my phone went off, I'd instinctively show who it was to avoid accusations. I still do it sometimes. My girlfriend will just smile and say, "You're doing it again." I know I don't need to, but breaking the habit is tough. Then came Halloween. My band was invited to play at an annual event I've done for years. My ex showed up with her boyfriend, the man she left me for, who had already cheated on her, and brought the kids, even though she knew it was an adults-only party. I was furious. She stood outside screaming that I was putting a party over my kids. Security told her to leave, but my friend, who hosted the party, gave in and said she could stay to watch me do 2 songs, then had to go. While I was on stage, she tried to clash with my girlfriend, but my girlfriend shut her down in front of witnesses, telling her to stop using the kids as pawns. Then, in front of everyone, my daughter loudly said, "I have 2 daddies, him and mommy's boyfriend, who's my real daddy." My ex was humiliated. She muttered something about me making her look like trash and stormed out. But my son refused to leave with her. Her boyfriend had to approach my girlfriend and ask if we could keep him. She agreed. That night, I was a wreck. I kept scanning the crowd, convinced a fight would break out. I messed up songs, distracted the whole time. When it was over, I found out my ex had left my son behind. When I returned him the next day, she made sure not to be home. Later, my son called me during a huge fight at their place. In the background, I could hear yelling. Her boyfriend had finally had enough of her behavior and accused her of not being over me. He asked, "What bothers you more, that you can't crawl back to him, or that if you hadn't left him, he would have eventually left you for her?" My son told me that's what set it off. I told him to call me if he needed me, but he said no. Still, it just confirmed what I already knew. I need to get custody of my kids. Finally, the divorce day came. We sat on a Zoom court call. I'd imagined this moment a million times, and when it finally happened, it took only 5 minutes. Neither of us contested anything. She wasn't asking for anything. Not that she could, since the paternity test had already exposed the truth. The judge asked me if there was any chance to save the marriage. I said no. Then he asked if I wanted to proceed with the divorce today. I said yes. That was it. 5 minutes and 20 years were over. The strangest part was that they asked her if there had been any domestic abuse. She said no. They didn't even ask me. I had been hit plenty of times, but in the end, it didn't matter. The result would have been the same. The marriage was dead. All that was left was the custody battle. 5 minutes after the hearing ended, my ex ran to Facebook to post about how divorce is hard, but that we need to set a good example for the kids. She even tagged me. Huge mistake. My friends jumped in, saying the better example would have been not to broadcast it online for likes right after court. I felt nothing. Not relief, not sadness. Just blank. Christmas came and things went fairly well, except my ex had lost her job, and 3 days before Christmas she came to me begging for help with gifts for the kids. I wanted to tell her to kick rocks, but I couldn't punish the kids. My girlfriend and I scrambled to find suitable presents. I told my ex it was a one-time thing and it would never happen again. When she came to pick up the gifts, she tried to step inside, saying she had a right to see where the kids slept. I told her no. She tried to push past me, but my girlfriend stepped up and said, "You're never setting foot in this house. If you have concerns, call someone, but you will not walk in here." My ex backed down. Since then, my girlfriend has been my rock. She doesn't get manipulated the way I used to. Where my ex used to twist me around, my girlfriend is unshakable. It's changed everything. I also put the kids in therapy and installed cameras in the house. Those cameras have been lifesavers. They've caught my daughter hitting my son, then screaming that he hit her. When we showed her the footage, she melted down, but at least it stopped her false accusations. The cameras also protect me when my ex tries to claim abuse. Once, my daughter jumped off the couch, landed wrong, and got a bruise. My ex immediately screamed child abuse. I sent her the video showing exactly what happened and how we treated it. After a few weeks, she stopped with those lies. My son, though, has had enough. He hates living with her. He acts out, screams, and punches walls over there. But here he's calm. He's bonded tightly with my girlfriend. She's his best friend. It's been over 2 years since D-Day. The divorce is final. My ex is still with the guy she left me for, but their life is a circus. His ex-wife is destroying them financially and emotionally. My ex has even come crying to me for money, but I won't give her a dime. I only provide for my kids. My son despises her. She told him why we divorced, and he makes sure everyone knows his sister is the other guy's kid. My daughter, meanwhile, is just like her mother, manipulative, dishonest, and constantly playing games. But with therapy, discipline, and time, I still hope I can help her. As for me, I have a new life. A new home, a new job, a new love. I'm happier than I've been in years. In the end, she thought she won, but she lost everything. And me? I thought I had lost everything, but I realized I'd actually won.
Commentary Reddit observer. This story shows that betrayal and lies always come with consequences. In the end, she lost everything, and he won back his life. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you won't miss the next incredible Reddit story.